Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Yes. All right. How y'all feeling? How's everybody feeling out there?
So good. Oh, did you hear that?
Exactly. Stop playing.
So good, croaky. How are you? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to one and all, and thank everybody for checking out the Healing Vibes. My name is King Simon.
I'm Carrie Ann Ingram. Welcome.
We got yes. Welcome. I am so proud. Today is the 6th of December, so we have a good time. How was your week so far? We on hump day. What's happening?
My week was good. It was very calm. Yeah.
Very
good
calm.
week. Good week thus far. I had So
You said it was very calm this week. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that you had a calm time this week.
Mm-hmm.
And you put everything to work in a calm way, correct? My week was exciting and on and off. I got a dental appointment tomorrow, so that should be fun too. A lot of people are afraid of the dentist, but I've never been afraid of the dentist, which is interesting. As a child, when first dentist I ever went to was in Jamaica, and went to the dentist, and I was just such a unique child. He said, "Look, they asked us to choose between candy and a toothbrush, and I chose the toothbrush." I chose,
look at you.
My daughter, my sister wanted the candy. I'm like, okay, give it to her. It's all right. I'm gonna get some anyway.
Wow.
But yes, it is now 2 minutes before the top of the hour all over the world. I hope people are doing well on out there, and y'all are more than welcome to always say like, subscribe, and share. This is what we say on our channel here. Like, subscribe, and share. We're broadcasting not only on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and also Carrie Ann Ingram on YouTube also, as well as King Simon Presents, only quality people on YouTube. So I'm happy, and of course we got a great guest that's coming up. Tell them about him. Tell them about her, please. About the person.
We do. We have Natasha Pierre-Louis. She is a seasoned front-end developer. She specializes in UX engineering. For those of you who are in that space, you totally get it. She is also she builds website. She's helped me with my website. She's created prototypes for other companies. She is also into AI and AI art. So this beautiful book that she designed through her artistry is one of her recent creations. And we are so grateful to have her on today.
Wonderful. I'm glad we're going to have a good time, good little discussion about the books and what she does in this AI world. Because somebody just asked me about the AI, and I told them about the numbers and what is connected to, not the artificial intelligence, although I broke down that word before in numerology, but I broke down AI and what it can lead to if man doesn't have a footing and a control over it. So we went there. I went there with the numbers today on a major platform with So they asked me the question, so I just showed them what the numbers could look like because it does add up to a number 10 in the Pythagorean system, and 10 is the wheel of fortune energy, but it also the wheel of fortune of good and evil if you're not careful. Right. That is how deep AI can go either way, depending on how man deals with AI. So without further ado, please say again.
I was like, what about crypto?
I can go there. That deals with the money frequency. That also deals with the money frequency of the number 8. Anything dealing with money and finance, 8 is that definitely thing. But of course, again, too much of one thing, too much of this, be problematic if you don't learn to get a grip on it and have some, or we be doing things like Skynet and Terminator madness. If we're not focused.
Right.
Let's bring her on. Go ahead, sister. Introduce her right now, please. Go ahead.
Welcome, Natasha.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey guys. Hi.
How you feeling, Natasha?
I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. Earlier, I was like, but now I think just being here, the energy, it's good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Good. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting you and having you on the program on the healing vibe, because that's the kind of vibes we try to bring in whatever we do. And there's always balance. There's always ups and downs, but it's all about, at the end of the day, healing through the healing vibes. Thanks to myself and Carrie Ann.
Ashe.
Now, are you from America? Are you here in America?
I am here in America. I'm in Colorado.
Oh, the marijuana capital.
You know what's funny? That's one thing I have not partaken in since I've moved here. and the funny thing is, like, when I decided to move here, one of the things on my checklist, because I had a garden, and I'm like, I want to be able to grow my own cannabis so I can make CBD oils and stuff. But since I've gotten here, life has been so busy, that I haven't had a chance to. I have seeds that are just like stored away, waiting for me to grow them.
You have
the right time.
I have seeds. I do.
Gosh, not the seeds.
I do.
That's cool. Well, hey, look, if you decide not to do it, that's all right. If you decide to do it, that's all right. I was a marijuana connoisseur back in my younger days because my family used to import it from our country in Jamaica back in those days, and we had some real good stuff. So I don't know what it is today. I'll be honest with you. That's why I'm not trying it. But I am respecting the growing process and people making money off of it. And now that it's legalized, so to speak, that's what they say. Unless you have too much of it, and then all of a sudden they come and break it in your house. Really? So Colorado or California? Say it again?
No, I was going to say, I'm a big fan of the CBD oils. Like, I personally am not a fan of anything that puts me out of my sobriety. Like, when I say, and I don't want to say sobriety like I had an issue in the past, but you know what I mean? Like, things that get you high, or I don't handle that well. I have funny stories that I've shared where, trust me, my body is not built for that, But
so you want to be in control of your body.
I love to be, maybe I'm a control freak. I don't know. But there are some healing benefits to the CBD oils. Like, I am a big fan of them. You know what I'm saying? So that I will stand behind, the CBD oil. So
I do. I use it for my back pain and all that kind of stuff. I throw it in water alongside Epsom salt to keep keep things mellow and all that. Even back in the day, we used to drink it as tea. I didn't really I was a smoker after I grew up and understood it. I drank it as tea, and as much it was very common solution when I used to drink it as tea, especially in Jamaica and all that stuff, So, hey, to each his own when it comes to smoking that and you just got to be careful of what they're infiltrating it with nowadays,
Yep. I've always said that, because here in Ontario, Canada, pretty much 90% of the Canada, it's legal, and everybody got excited as soon as it was legalized by the government. And I said, do not. It's not something you want to indulge in, because in order to get you to be addicted, and I use that loosely, to come back as a customer, there's additive chemical substance that are needed to have you become reliant on this. So I would suggest no. Grow your own.
Exactly.
And you know what's so funny? Dr. Africa, when I used to sit down with him, he used to say, anytime you add flames to it, it changes the chemical composition of it.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother chemical, touching chemical, so it becomes chemical. So, and then it could coat the lungs, depending on some of us used to wrap it in frontal leaf and tobacco leaf and all this type of stuff. So anytime, so I was like, oh man, I almost died off of marijuana years ago. And it almost inundated my whole lungs, and I had to cough it out while I was sleeping, to the point that it was a big puff of smoke. And when I looked at the clock, it was 4:44.
Oh, wow.
Never forget that to this day.
Wow.
Wow.
So big up to marijuana that let me know that I need to stop smoking it.
Yeah.
You know, because we were trying to act like Cheech and Chong back in the day.
That's what you get.
You gotta be old enough to know what Cheech and Chong is. And it wasn't no limousine; it was a small Toyota. We have the windows wound up.
You were hotboxing.
Everybody had a spliff. It was cold outside, and we smoked that spliff all the way down while the smoke is intaking all of this place. And when we got out of that car, it was over.
You didn't even remember your name, did you?
Man, all I remember is that refrigerator, that all the food I was eating out of it. Never forget. Lot of mercy.
Oh my goodness, those were the days. Yeah.
Yeah, those were the marijuana. And I was 16.
Oh wow.
That is deep. So let's get into it. Let's get
big
into
up.
it. We got big up. Yes, big up.
So Natasha, what brought you to Colorado? How did you end up in Colorado? Because when we met, and backstory, Natasha and I met on Clubhouse in the early days, literally the beginning of Clubhouse. Mm-hmm. And then she became my client and then I became hers, you know, like, yeah. So just a beautiful symbiotic union. But you were in Florida when we met. So what took you to Colorado?
Well, I mean, you remember we were trying to start a community and I was really set on leaving Florida. I had been, because I'm from New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, but I had lived in Florida for over 36 years. And it was getting to the point where cost of living was just getting ridiculous. I remember getting a notice because I never wanted to buy a house in Florida. The big roaches. I cannot.
They love the heat, girl. They love
the heat. So I was like never set on owning a property, but I used to rent. And I remember when the leasing office told me that my rent for a 2-bedroom apartment was going to increase $700 more a month. And it was going to be like $3,000 or something. And I was just like, you know what? I've always wanted to leave. I only stayed because of my mom and she passed away in 2015. So I'm like, why am I here? So I remember when we were still forming our village, I started doing research. I had a spreadsheet with all the states, all the pros and cons of why to move to. I mean, I was a real nerd about it, but I researched and Colorado just checked off all the things that I was looking for at the time. Yeah. You know, and now I'm here. It's been almost 2 years.
That's awesome. Simon, we were going to start our own little village and move away and just incubate ourselves into love and light.
Yep, that's your part. Not my part. Love and light village, right?
Like just peace, balance, freedom, love, unity, helping each other. So yeah.
Mm. No, that would have been made sense as long as y'all have the Love and Light security team around y'all. That's also balance. That would have made a whole lot of sense. Yeah. I don't suggest anybody setting up anything that they can't protect.
Yeah,
that is true.
I don't.
There was a lot of moving parts to it, and we realized that that's why I agree with Carrie Ann about how balance is necessary because we all came in at like we were all in this bubble, yes, let's start a community and it's going to be great. And everyone's going to agree on where we're going to live. And then reality sets in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It is not cheap, especially if you're setting up a land and land mass and all that. You learn real quickly.
Facts.
What is she said? Facts.
Real quick. There's so many things that are great on paper, but when you actually put it into execution, you're like, woo, this needs more.
Exactly.
Now, Natasha, I know you're a front-end developer and a UX engineer and designer, and you work with AI and all that. What is the balanced future of technology? Is there a healing through technology nowadays, or is it something that can throw people off when it comes to the use of technology? How do you feel about what's going on in technology and its future?
You know what? I believe that technology has the potential to bring about a lot of healing if it is used correctly.
There it is.
Now, that's what I truly believe this. I think where we may fall short, and I'm already seeing signs of it, is when people want to get ahead of themselves. You have people already talking, and there are projects being done as we speak where they want to make artificial intelligence sentient, which to me, I'm like, didn't you watch Terminator?
No.
Like, come on. You know, it's like, are we serious right now? And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, there are real research being done where they want these, because I'm a big fan of artificial intelligence. I use it almost daily, you know, with my work, you know, like ChatGPT is one of my favorite things right now, you know, whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, the last thing we need is a level of, you know, an artificial form of intelligence that can make its own choices and what's the term I'm looking for? Self-actualized, you know what I'm saying? Like something where it realizes, wait, I'm smarter than these humans. Why am I taking order from them? You know what I'm saying? I mean, even us humans get like that. Imagine you're working for someone and you realize your boss is an idiot. After a while, you're like, why am I working for you? So can you imagine? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we need balance. You know, I'm like, don't rush. Enjoy where it's at, because it's a tool right now that I think has a lot of potential. And I see the potential daily. You know,
and I was saying earlier that I was on a TV show, a podcast today, and showed the numbers on where it can go from just those two letters alone. In the Chaldean system, it adds up to the number 2. So 2 deals with emotional balance that it needs, and people that are dealing with it has to be emotionally balanced, because if you got a bunch of wicked people that's not emotionally balanced, then they can take it to the Terminator. Because I remember back in the day watching Total Recall. Now, everybody knows Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Back in the day, we didn't have no full body scan for the airports. That's a 30, 40-year-old movie. They learn from their movies. Most of the stuff that they put out there is already out there through the military first. I remember going to either the CIA building as a field trip or FBI building, and they had the watch phones. They had the cell phones on the phone, like Maxwell Smart. They had all of those things through the FBI, CIA. They have these things. It's in the building. It's in the museum. When we was watching Dick Tracy and the whole picture on your face on the phone and talking, it's here now, and that's Dick Tracy in 1930.
But is it fair to say that this, like, no technology is new? There's nothing new under the sun. Everything is recycled. If we look on the pyramid walls, we have advanced technology that they had access to. We went through this reset where everything was wiped and we forgot about it. And a small sect have access to the technical details to remake these things. So they're reintroducing it. But all of this stuff is based off of us, our body and our mind, you know? So if they try to make artificial intelligence sentient, do you think because it's based off of us, we're evolving as well, we have the capability to counteract that with our evolution if we no?
Here's the thing, right?
Getting smarter.
Now listen. I think human beings, we were created brilliantly. You know what I'm saying? Like our brain, they're still trying to get computers to emulate, you know, how our brain processes information, but a supercomputer can process more information, information a lot faster than the human brain. I mean, there was a period of time where our brain was the most advanced thing walking around, and that's why we ruled the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why and I'm not a Christian, I'm not really Christian, but I mean, even in the Bible where it says, humans will rule over the earth, it was a reason for that, because our brain was the most complex thing at one point, but then we're realizing that things are becoming even smarter than us. I mean, let's be real, right? How many people memorize and have, remember phone numbers like we used to back in the day? Remember back in the day before cell phones? We had people's phone numbers memorized and everything, birthdays. Now it's like, if my phone gets lost, I can call my brother.
If my phone gets lost, I can call no one. I'm always like aghast at how Simon is able to remember numbers. Like I'm odd every time he pulls out a birthday out of somewhere, the ethers. I'm like, how?
And I still remember certain phone numbers up to this day. My mother's number, my grandmother, even though she transitioned years ago, it's still certain. My best friend's number, his mother's number. I still remember those numbers right now. and being a numerologist and studying numbers and knowing how to apply it on different levels, it has helped me even to develop the right and the left hemisphere of the brain even better. So that's why, but she's right. The brain was definitely is a magnificent thing, the human brain. And also a lot of it is on the temples. I got a book called The Technology of the Gods. It's an old book, Technologies of the Gods. I could whip out some stuff right now because they showed you in this book. This is a mathematician that wrote this book. Let me show you the front page. And this book is called The Constructing Universe, the Mathematical Archetype of Nature, Art, and Science, all in one. This is a beginner's guide. I don't play. And I got Robert Edward Grant's book on philomath and its connection to science, art, and numbers. So they're showing you that in nature is where the mathematics and everything that they're mimicking and putting out, and the AI is now mimicking and taking care and noting it and paying attention and seeing its connection to the universe, the micro and the macrocosmic. They're studying every little thing, and they're in the background. They're like they're like a pig just waiting for the food to come out. And then all of a sudden the pig gets smarter and it starts speaking like Charlotte's Web. And I grew up on Charlotte Web and the pig was speaking to the spider. All the bull crap. I've never seen a pig speak.
Have you read Animal Farm?
Yeah, Animal Farm. But spiders have come to me in my dream and showed me certain things back in the day. So it's interesting how. But I'm at 56 years of age. I'm quite interested to see where this is going to go, if I'm even going to be alive to see this. I'm quite interested. As an Aquarian, I'm quite interested in it also because this is the age of Aquarius. When is your birthday, Natasha?
I'm August 10. But what's funny? I think I my let me see. I think I'm like
now Leo I remember sun. Forever.
Yeah. I think I'm like Leo sun. What is it, like Aquarius moon? And Libra rising or something like that. I don't even know.
If Aquarius is your moon, then technology is definitely your thing, but remember the Leo is the other side of Aquarian anyway. So you automatically get some of the Aquarian balance for it. You know what I'm saying? You're born the same day as Danny Pena, the billionaire maker. Brother Polite is also born on the 10th of August also, and various others. But it's always about leadership and staying in front of the forefront of the leadership and new waves of things coming. And that number 10 is that Wheel of Fortune number. Whatever you put your mind to, just don't second guess it. If you know it's good for you and your family, just do it. That's one thing about that.
That's why we're in Colorado. Listen, I remember Carrie Ann, do you remember when I told you guys I'm moving to Colorado? I had no money. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it was in my head. And everybody was like, even my family was like, oh yeah, sure. Next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, you found an apartment? Wait, what? What I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing one side, once the decision is made, it's like, just move forward.
Straight to the point. Yeah. Y'all say what y'all mean and mean what y'all saying. That's what y'all supposed to do. As according to those numbers there. And that's such a beautiful number, that number 10. And a lot of people don't realize I consider that a master number potential. Every number that has a 0 behind it is a master number. For me, because 0 adds high potential behind any number that it follows. So if you go to your bank account, Natasha, and see $10, and then next day you see $10,000, those zeros made a difference.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Carrie. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask you.
No. No need to apologize. No, you're on point. The zeros definitely make a difference behind.
The 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. That's what
in front though. It's like
You're binds now. It's a binary thing now. You're binding things now. So I have a whole I Ching book on the binary code, and even 02, 03, 04, 04. I study all of that because that one time America didn't acknowledge 0 until the quote unquote India revealed it through accounting. But we already had it in Africa. We already had it in Kemet. We already had it. You had to know the 0 point to build anything. You had to understand 0 point. And most of these mathematicians are telling you, they already knew it. It's just that they named it 0 when it was called Sunya, and the Arabs called it Sifra and all that. I started learning and studying all of that because Neil deGrasse Tyson said something. And it wasn't a debate, but it was a discussion. Him and Sylvester Gates was having a big discussion. One born October 5th, the other one born December 15th. right? I know my mind is there. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says, how in the world that Arabs were the ones that built these things, but yet they can't manifest nothing like that again? They wasn't the original people to build it. And he pointed that out. He said they wasn't the original. How are they, the so-called Arabs, if they consider, because you're dealing with the Moorish paradigm now. You're dealing with those that showed them how to clean up, how to wipe their ass, how they made systems. And it's a beautiful thing when you find out that they didn't do it. That's why it's so easy for them to desecrate it. Think on that part, desecrate and destroy our temples. So we got to go back to our ancient sciences again and mimic that and try to use the AI of that to see. And that's through tapping in, probably through your meditation, through your prayers, because they didn't have all of this, but they wasn't under no duress. They was meditating and praying and frequency using and into the, all of that. They was in it. And that's what I feel that we miss. We missing out in this day and time. What say ye?
And coding too, right, Natasha? Like the whole point, the thing when people talk about technology and there's this fear behind, oh no, yeah, it's coming to get you. And I'm like, who programmed it? It was programmed by a human, right? Like at the end of the day, it didn't just wake up and decided, I'm going to take over the world. It has a program and it's following program, even if it becomes sentient. So isn't it wise for us to, as Simon just said, take our ancient knowledge and code it into these systems so that it also has this knowledge embedded in it and it could restructure this new paradigm that we're going within and make it more balanced for all of humanity using the ancient keys? I
agree.
How would one do that?
I have absolutely no idea, but I love the idea of it, though.
And what's so interesting about y'all two is that both of your alignment numbers are number 9. So this is, according to cosmic numerology, this is y'all last time here on Earth. To your last exam, both of y'all, according to the numbers. That's interesting because hers is a 9, yours is a 9, and she's born January 26th, and you're born August the 10th. So that's adds up to a 9, and then yours and hers add up to a 9. Also,
and I'm an Aquarius. She's a Leo. The opposite.
Look at that.
The community would have done well, but y'all need to make sure y'all have protection and everything around you to make sure it goes the way it's supposed to go.
Do you want to join our community?
I'm definitely security.
Right? Exactly.
I trained under Dr. Khaled and Minister Farrakhan. Believe me, I'm security. I'm not letting none of our women get messed up or hurt in any way without them knowing how to fight and how to tussle, how to shoot guns, and they got to learn how to do it all and even use their mind powers. And because there was in Obia or voodoo, they was able to use certain powers of the plants and nature to be able to get the enemy off. That's why they're fighting Haiti to this day. That's why they're still on top of Haiti, because they know. But that Jamaica, they kind of got Jamaica a little subdued, but not really. I'm just waiting for another ancestral research and awaken. Yeah, something happening in Jamaica soon, but that's only in the mountains. It's only in the mountains right now.
Or the Maroons.
So they're afraid of Jamaica awakening again because they're already doing it through music.
Right.
And they want to awaken them up. So, with what you do with your book, Natasha, which is an interesting title to me, and I like the title, the mythical affirmations, mythical, because a lot of things are based on myth that might be based on truth also when you go back into time. And it's a coloring book. For what ages is your coloring book for the coloring book that you have there?
I had my son help me. At first, it was just going to be an adult, and the original images that I was going with, they were very complex. So I asked my son, because he was my inspiration for why I wanted to create a coloring book, because my son is autistic and he has ADHD. And when he was younger, coloring was something that he did a lot of. He spent a lot of times coloring. So I always said, man, I want to create a book. But then so when I started working on it, I would ask him, what do you think of this? And he's like, it looks complicated. And I'm like, okay, so I want to create it for someone like him. Like, even though it's an adult coloring book, I want kids to be able to look at it and go, ooh, I want to color that too. You know, so like, so on the cover of the book, I put that it's from ages 8 up, even though it's an adult coloring book. But I think young kids can look at some of the images and like connect with them too. At least, I don't know, Carrie-Ann, you tell me, what do you think? You've seen the book. You tell me, what do you think?
I love it. Okay, so this, I had the best time coloring, and
wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. It put me in such a now state where I literally, nothing outside of this coloring book was in my reality. Everything like disappeared, and all I concentrated on was this book. That's all I saw. And it gets you to release your anxiety, release stress, and there's tons of research behind institution giving coloring books to people with PTSD, specifically like people from the army who have dealt with really, really traumatic situations. And when you take them and give them a coloring book with mandalas and something like this, it really allows them to relinquish their stress. So thank you for creating this. This is amazing.
And everybody, I just put the link and pinned it to the top of the chat. So if you want to get this extraordinary coloring book, The Mythical Affirmation, a coloring book filled with mythical beings and serene scenes of and affirmations, it's in the link right now. It's right on top of the link. And definitely, I like how how she colored it. I really enjoyed what she was putting out there. Wow, isn't that the mushroom look? Oh my God, people that's going to be on shrooms is going to go crazy on that one. They're gonna go crazy on that one. I know that. So these people, it's good for everybody. And anything that comes out of a soul of a person is an actuality. A lot of people don't know that. That's why that movie with Robin Williams, What Dreams May Tell, was a very important movie about the artwork. And I know I'm building a whole other world of numbers and how to use it in my next life. I already know that, because I've seen my travels. In my astro travels. So I know that it's going to be extraordinary. And I'm not, that's why I don't bug out no more. I just do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why it's important to get books like this. And although she said her child is autistic, some of the most best people that I've met has been on the spectrum, been autistic, all that. Matter of fact, one of the best drummers in New York that plays congos, autistic brother. He just beat da-da-da-da, and he comes to every ceremony. He'd be at the Malcolm X grave site. Autistic.
Wow.
If you get him angry, he gonna beat your ass. No. Because he's 6 foot, 250 pounds.
Right.
And he's strong as hell. So anytime we had to come, I'll just say, anytime he's doing through it, I'll tell his mother, have him go play drums right there in the side. Let him calm down. Go ahead. He's all right. Let him do his thing. Mm-hmm. He's all right. No, it's all right. He's in a community that understands it, because Dr. Africa said, from a holistic perspective, if we don't be able to approach it from a myotic balance, then we failed our children. We failed our children, because anything we did as far as healing was faced from a holistic perspective. We're gonna give them that word autistic because of some European telling us. No, we have to be able to deal with it and say, you know what, he's ours. Let's find how he learns faster through something else. Because obviously they pick up through other means. There's people that can draw a whole bridge. I can't draw a whole bridge. This guy, I seen this autistic brother draw this is a quote unquote so-called autistic brother, draw this whole bridge. Brilliant. They just learn differently. That's all. They learn differently, and I respect their learning. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting that you say that, right? Because when my son was younger, like I said, he was really heavy into visual arts. That was like his calm place. He would when he would be having a meltdown, because I had like all kinds of different mandalas was something that he was really into also. So I have like a bunch of different ones, and and he'd color. But then somehow I think through coloring, it kind of expanded his mind, because now he's really heavy into music. My son's 9. And he taught himself how to use FL Studio. To me, the interface of that software is so and I'm a developer, and I find it complex. But for him, it's so easy. And
when is his birthday?
His birthday is June 30th.
Oh, yes, he's the number 30. Expand, grow, music, talent, visual arts. That's all the number 30. Matter of fact, he born the same day as Mike Tyson.
Wow.
Very expansive with their ideas. And sometimes Tyson looked like he's on the spectrum sometimes.
I was just going to say that. Respectfully,
Respectfully, but it just shows you his talent wasn't into that. His talent was boxing and expressing him through all the stuff and he was good at it. Every time he was moving, he's like Tyson would boop, boop, pop and catch you. That's where his brilliant lies. So wherever your son's brilliant lies in that, then growing that, he's no longer autistic, man. He's artistic.
Yeah. I love that.
That's the number of artistry. That's the number of expression. LeBron James is born on the 30th. Tiger Woods is born on the 30th. Tyrese is born on the 30th.
Wow.
Those months. So you got to understand the number 30 is a master number potential. So he has the mastery, but it's just an extreme, and it could be seen to be extremely negative or extremely positive how they use the extremities. That's all that is.
Yep.
So he's a powerful. Matter of fact, he should produce his own book and do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? He got some books inside of him. You want to explore and bring it out and leave that legacy for him. Because as a matter of fact, his alignment numbers are 9 too. So this is his last.
Yep, I was thinking that.
Last time here on Earth.
Because he's an old soul, y'all. Like he loves oldies.
Exactly.
He loves oldie music. Like when he tells people what music he listens to, and they're like, "How old are you?" So it's funny that I'm learning about the 9 today. I didn't even realize how powerful the number 9 is. I'm like,
oh yeah. Awesome. When you're ready to connect with me, you know what it is. I drop that numbers like I drop numbers like cards, girl. I wrote books on it too, so that's what that is. But I'm proud of the journey, especially dealing with the because a lot of our history is based on mythology. Mm-hmm. That part, I got books on ancient African mythology, and then it's where the Iliads came from, Aesop's fables came from. That's where they're getting it from, Ethiopian mythology. And then calling it their fables and their stuff and calling it fables, changing the words again and the names. So beautiful, beautiful. They're going to be stories told about you and your son in the next 100 years, man. They're going to be stories told about us in the next 100 years. That's why I want her to write a book before she leaves this planet. Stop playing.
Yes, stop playing.
Why not? One of the greatest reggae producers is born the same day she's born. He left a legacy. It's there. Sir Coxsone Dodd, Studio One. All of his legacy is everybody to this day. That bass run, boom, boom, doo, 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 doom, doom, doom. Sir Coxsone, boom, doo, doo, doo. That's all it is. That's all, and it's from Leroy Sibbles playing that bass, boom, boom, doo, 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 doom, doom. Another Aquarian. Leave your legacy. Do not leave this planet without sharing your unique gifts. Period. I don't care if you're not going to be in a relationship for the rest of your life. I don't care. Do not leave this planet without leaving your gift. I know, right? Anyway, everything went silent. Where the crickets at? Where the hell?
Wait, we need, those clappers where you're like, wait for it. Wait, say it again. Wait, oh yeah, you have it. Oh my God. Wait, say it again.
Come on now.
What about my mic?
You gonna drop the mic, really? My mic too heavy. I'm dropping headphones.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But it's ironic that both of y'all would have a 9 alignment number, you and your child. That's so, that just shows patterns and cycles and sequences. That shows it's just a different level of the 9.
They chose each other.
They chose, definitely a chosen
That's
one.
so deep.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna connect with you, Simon, because I want to know more.
Well, hey, this is my number just in case that it is. Go take a snapshot real quick.
I will. No, I'm taking I'm print screen right now. Seriously.
There it is.
And I can confirm.
Oh, yes.
He is on point. Like he doesn't miss. Like he's amazing. 100%.
It's because I like to study and I love numbers to the point that they become part and parcel with me. But I'm not one of those people like the movie 23. Oh, 23 days, 23 days. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing all of that.
In public.
I don't even do it in public. I don't do it in public or private. And they asked me today on Sunday the show if I do. I said no. I really go with the intuition first, and then I consult the numbers because the intuition is the first GPS. That is the first guide.
Yes.
First, I got sick in this month, and I'm in a 4 personal month now. 4 is one of the major health numbers. I'm like, okay, I got it. I see why I'm going through it, and now I have to, I had to go through that 1 day little sickness. Cool. That's how you recognize and know that we are all are living mathematics. All of us are living mathematics. 5 fingers, 10 fingers, 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Living mathematics. There's a song called I Am Living Mad by Narubi Sila. Beautiful song, but I like to open up with my shows with that. Sometimes I am living mad because it's a powerful meaning behind being living mathematics. So, I'm proud of your son and whatever he's doing, proud of you and what your journey of life and what you're manifesting. What else is coming out of any other books that's going to come out of y'all?
Right now,
she took a deep breath.
Well, I was in a different place when I created this book because, like I said, I was inspired by my son to create it. Right. But at the time when I created it, I also had been I was without a job for 7 months. And because I had lost my job in January and I was just hustling, doing freelance work or whatever. And so when I think it was around like April. No, I started working on it because I had lost my job in January. And in April, that's when I started working on a coloring book. But it was supposed to be like a quick thing that I did that I thought that I could do it quick because I'm thinking I'm going to be using Midjourney. I know Midjourney. Well, I could create this book real quick. And then boom, it took me 2 months because as I started doing it, because I'm also an artist, I paint and I draw. And I just thought, doing it with AI would have been a quick thing. But then all of a sudden, like my artistic whatever kicked in, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh no, the image has to be this, and it has to be that. So I kept starting over, and I kept, and then I would spend hours in Photoshop editing the images to make it exactly the way. I mean, something I was supposed to take 1 week, 2 months later, and then I came out July, and all this time I was like freelancing, hustling. I didn't have a full-time job, so it was like a different mindset. So in a way, it was like healing for me. While I was creating this book, I was like healing myself through it. So now I'm at a different place now. I have considered creating a new one. And I think if I did create a new one, this next one would probably be hand-drawn instead of AI, just to see if it would take me as long. Because I'm curious to see if it would take me 2 months to create my next one as it took me, to create this first one. And I see you have the Etsy shop up. I sell the individual pages.
They're
people
beautiful.
Who don't want to buy, thank you.
They are.
Wow, look at that. And look at that. I love the owl. Oh my God. I love the owl, man. Owl is one of my creatures, man. Stop playing. Owls and falcons. Falcons are one of my creatures too. But look at that. Look at look a little mushroom creature. Oh my God. I'm telling you, y'all gonna bug out. I say hang it on your wall and then stare into it so you can see what you can get out of it in your dreams.
Ooh.
You'll find it might be one of your animal totems that's guiding you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And use that because the mind, the thoughts are things. Again, I keep on telling people because you can stare into if you could stare into a so-called what's that do the mirror magic and find out something because I've done mirror magic.
A scrying mirror?
A mirror. Oh man, I've done regular mirrors and found out certain things, but they are scrying mirrors out there.
Yeah.
But that in the Sufi order, we used to practice that mirror magic back in the day, and your face starts to peel in that mirror. You start seeing who you really are behind all this flesh.
Yep.
It's actually a little bit scary.
It scares most people, but I understood what I was about to see, and I didn't run out the bathroom. It just looked at me like a panther, and it just jumped out like a panther, and I was like, And then I blinked, and that's when it kind of wore off. I was looking directly in my eyes because your eyes are that window directly to that soul.
100%.
Beautiful.
When I broke from my engagement.
Look at these two people. They're fasting.
You're so funny. Mirror magic, not mirror magic, not like that other one. Like just using the mirror to look at myself and reinstill my beauty, my power, my divinity. Every morning I did this exercise and it helped to heal me and bring me back to the truth of who I am. And then I injected that into my practice, to teach others too how powerful it is, because listen, and it's hard in the beginning, like it's super uncomfortable because how many people look at themselves in the eye?
Yes.
Really see yourself, not many. So yeah,
yes.
when
this was the picture I was talking about. They're fasting. you need a hamburger. You too, or something else. Oh, you got some beautiful work. Let's keep on bouncing. Let's see what they got. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And you can get all types of sizes, I see. Oh my gosh. Oh man, yes. Let me go back. Oh, man, you got some stuff going on in there, man. I like that one. That's like I digged up some of my relatives and say, "Hey, how y'all doing? How you doing?" I'm just saying. But y'all see the pictures. People are looking at it. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, man. Okay. Let's see. Okay, heads up. Okay. People gotta really check out the artworks and on your Etsy page and family. The Etsy page, I'm gonna put that link. It's matter of fact, the link is right here. Let's stop playing with it. Of course, the link is right here. I'm showing it right now. The Etsy page right there, and make sure y'all spread love with on Cashapp too. That Cashapp, spread love, spread love, family, spread love.
Spread love.
$ Natasha's World. That's like a secret agent, Natasha.
I love the movement that you did with that Natasha's World.
Natasha.
Like jazz hands. But Natasha, what have you learned, from this whole process of creating this book and just the whole, given that our show is the Healing Vibe, how you mentioned a bit of how the creation process of it helped you in a healing way. But after the creation of it and you put it out to the world, retrospect, looking back, what have you gained from the whole process?
Well, one thing I can say that I've gained, I feel like it's helped me to become more mindful, because I think what can happen a lot of times, and life has a way of doing this, when you're going through a lot, because like I said, I was going through a lot, you're juggling, because my kid, I still had to maintain a household despite the fact that I was out of work. And then I have my son, he does school from home. So I'm his learning coach, you know what I'm saying? So you're juggling all this stuff, and it's easy to forget yourself and forget to be present. And doing this coloring book, it literally forced me to be present, because especially when you're working with AI has a reputation for adding anomalies to images that you generate. So I don't know if you've ever played with Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. You'll see, you'll have a beautiful, let's say you generate this beautiful woman, and then you look really close. She'll have like 10 fingers in one hand, or, you know what I'm saying? Or like an extra limb. And you're just like, wait a minute, that does not belong there. So it's like, you have to be mindful, or you miss little details. So it literally put me, like, I felt like, and so, and I know, because before I came onto this, a show today, I was kind of like doing a little bit of research too on like the benefits of art, like visual arts on trauma. And one of the things that they were saying is like, when you go to art therapy, a lot of times that's why they would have patients create the art, from scratch, because some patients are not able to speak when they've been through trauma. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and so like speech, like, talking to someone is not helpful to them, but then just to have the ability to create from scratch, can be very beneficial, a way like, to really go deep. And so when I was creating this, in some ways, even though AI generated it, but having to go into the detail, there were some of the images that I had to recreate, like literally take it apart and like, whatever. And I felt like it was just like, I felt like I was going through my own therapy without a therapist, just kind of like going, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like, it's very therapeutic. That's all I can say. When you're going through stress, whatever can help, you know what I'm saying? You get through it, and it helped me. Get through it,
with a lot of the images you've drawn, was there dreams that pulled those images out? Any type of walking dreams? Because the thoughts are walking dreams. Life is but a dream. Roll, roll, roll your boat. You know what I'm saying? So any that came out? How did all this artwork come out of you so vivid?
Well, you know what's interesting with the dreams? Some of the most beautiful dreams I had were like with scenery that felt safe. So that's one of the things that I try to create with every image. You know what I'm saying? Like I want even the image with the weird characters. It's always like a peaceful surrounding. Like I remember having like when my mom before she passed away, she was like in a nursing home for 9 years. She had a cardiac arrest that left her in a persistent vegetative state. Right. And during that time, before she passed, like those 9 years, I would often dream of her. And it would always be in this serene place, where she would be completely healthy, like totally like glowing. And we would sit together and talk. And so I wanted to create that kind of vibe. Like the whole time I was creating it, I kept thinking about those dreams, where I just felt safe, at peace, And so like, yeah, I was going for that. So I hope I was successful. If anyone, Carrie-Ann, you tell me, was I able to create that vibe? Because that's what I was going for. I wanted to create a vibe with every image, and I wanted to accompany it with a message that kind of uplifted, the person as they were coloring. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're being mindful and you're being uplifted at the same time. So I was going for all that. Maybe I was too optimistic. It worked. Okay, good.
Yeah, in my opinion, I really enjoyed the process, and I really enjoyed the process. So
I just added it to my cart. So yes, definitely going to order it myself and check it out, because I used to love to color. Yes. And sometimes I look at, a friend of mine, Donnie Arcade, came out with his own comic book, and he deal with AI and all that stuff. And when you see artwork like that, and now he's really making them moving art now. It's like it's moving with the art, and that's also another profound thing. And I'm writing a few children's book now based on my old reggae lyrics, because Bob Marley's children just showed me the way, because they just took like 3 or 4 of Bob Marley's lyrics and turned them into children's book. So my mind is going there the same way. That's all I'm looking at. Are you an illustrator too, or no? You just
Actually, I can draw illustrations. I don't do it for a living, but I can. There was a period of time in my life where I drew a lot. I went to school for graphic design. I
should have went there too. I went for printing instead, and the graphic design place was right across. I learned graphic on my own, but I should have went for graphic arts. But that was a beautiful in school in New York back in the day, But wow, how was that?
It's interesting because graphic design kind of marries art and technology, and yes. I'm like a fan of both, But with school, I found myself struggling because I just wanted to do the core stuff. Like I'm like, just let me create. But when you're going to college, they want you to do all this extra stuff. And you don't know how many times I went to my advisor, I'm quitting. I can't do this anymore. I'm not built for this. And she'll be like, Natasha, just hang in there. So what was supposed to be a 4-year degree took me 5 years because I kept changing my mind. But then when I finally graduated and I saw all the work that I did over that period of time and the growth, you know what I'm saying? From like when I first started college to when I finally finished, it was just like, wow, it was worth it to stay and complete it, And so it was hard, but it was worth it. For me, anyways. But then I tell my son, though, we live in a different time. So I tell my son, I would never force him to do a 4-year college if he does not want to.
Right.
Because we live time of different. I feel like if he wants to go to school and do the core music stuff, I'm all for that. Like, to me, I just feel like, forcing people to do, a lot of these extra classes that you'll never use is a waste of money and time. That's just my opinion. Don't get me. I'll get on the whole tangent.
I agree with you. When I left school, I said I paid for confidence because everything that I acquired, I had started to acquire that on my own and felt I didn't feel that I was equipped on my own to pursue what I initially graduated. So I have a business degree and marketing, but I initially went to school when I was 18 for graphic design and dropped out after my second semester. Because it was too, and it was too, what's the word for too book heavy? Like I wasn't hands on. Like it was too technical. It wasn't technical. It was very like just reading. Ugh.
It was too much. I had a professor. Listen, I'm probably one of the worst students on the planet when it comes to sitting in class.
You're second to me.
I am the worst. promise you.
I got kicked out of school. I got kicked out of school numerous times.
Listen, but my professors, they were so, I was so blessed though. I had good professors. Like they worked with me. I had one professor, she knew I got bored. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, even though I've never been diagnosed. She knew I would get bored in class, even though I had straight A's in her class. So she would allow me to put a recorder on the podium and go sleep in the back of the class, because she knew I would get the work done. Because I'm like, I would tell her, look, I'm not built for sitting in a classroom for an hour and listening to someone lecture. It doesn't work for me. My brain shuts off. And I don't want to be like this in front of the whole class. So can I just go sleep and I'll record the lecture? I promise you I'll get an A, and I always did. You see what I'm saying? And I was that kind of student. So all my professors understood me.
I love that. You stood up for yourself, like you advocated. And I wish more in these, educational institutions catered to the different learning styles of humans. We are not the same. We learn differently. And they have this like cookie cutter way you need to fit into this box or you're a failure, and many people cannot, so they fall out and then they just walk away with this heavy self-esteem issue. So I love that you knew what was right for you and you stood up for yourself.
And I can actually say that the teacher, it's not always the teacher's fault, because they see it, but they got to go along with the curriculum.
Right.
Always got to go with this curriculum. And then people be standing at the door watching you teach classes. They're sitting in the class with you to see if you're teaching the way we showed you how to teach this.
That's so true. Yep.
And that's why I got kicked out of school. I said, you know what? I'm passing all these math and science classes. I need to go smoke some weed because y'all bugging me out. That was my thing. I was back in high school and junior high school. I got kicked out of high school. Had to go take GED and all kind of craziness. But I think I learned the most outside of school, because I started reading more and studying outside of the box of school. And I'm reading more science and mathematics in the books than ever now. I'm not telling to encourage y'all and your children not to go to school, but if the Greek word or the Roman word for school is hell, I'm very careful about going to hell.
Preach on it, yeah.
From the word shul or school.
Yeah.
It's a whole language that goes with that word school now. We got to be very careful. But man, this has been a beautiful conversation, man. Get that around the world. Absolutely. Beautiful conversation. Not knowing now that we know you're a Leo is good. We can be there. We go with the flow here. I can get with my Leo people. I love my Leo.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm proud of your journey again. Family, please go to her link. Also, give us some Cashapp love. Also, you could do websites for people if you wanted and all that kind of stuff. Or you don't want to deal with that. Then leave that alone.
Currently, I did finally get a job. Thank God. But for a while there, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was out of work, I really was trying to do that whole self-employment thing. I respect people who work for themselves. I do, and I believe one day I'm meant to.
You do, yes.
But there is a blessing that comes with knowing that there's a paycheck every 2 weeks. I know. It's a matrix thing. But listen, y'all. When you're not sure where the money's coming from, the struggle is real. When you're just like, I don't know if I'll make rent next month.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and born under that number, you're definitely supposed to run your own business. And even if you're putting 10% towards your own business, do that. You know what I'm saying? If you love what you do and you're making money off of what you do at whatever job, then put 10% off, 10% into your own business. That's what I would always suggest if you came to me. I'm never going to tell somebody to quit their job just because they have a lot of leadership numbers and business only numbers. Say, wait a minute now. Can you pay your rent? Can you pay your electric bill? Can you pay Can you pay this? Can you pay that? Are you taking care of a child? What are you doing? Come on, stop playing.
Exactly.
You got to be sensible, especially if you're consultants in any way. Don't just tell people to jump out of the damn boat and they don't know how to swim yet. Don't make sense. Exactly. Not to me. So
And my son, let me tell you guys something, okay?
Yeah.
I love my child. I love him, but he is the most expensive baby on the planet. Let me tell you something. His interests are expensive. Like last year, for Christmas, I got him a license for FL Studio. That was like over, man, I don't even want to say how much it was. It was very expensive. You know
what is FL Studio?
It's like it used to be called Fruity Loops. It's like a DAW, where you can produce music and stuff like that. Like all the stuff that he wants, are not cheap. So it's like, so it's very difficult to just jump feet first and be like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. When you have a child that, what I'm saying? It's like, I got to cater to him and I got to make sure we eat and I got to make sure we don't live, in a bad neighborhood. I'm allergic to roaches, so I cannot live in a poor place. I'm just not built for it. I'm not even exaggerating.
Listen, I'm with you on that.
That is so funny. My friend born the same day he was born, he was afraid of roaches also. He did not like a roach. He don't like chalk on a chalkboard. He will actually jump on top of a couch if he's seen grown-ass man who will shoot everybody and all that kind of stuff. But yet when a cockroach comes, I remember I was sitting in his house and then we were somewhere and a cockroach came running by. He's like, oh my God, he jumped on top of the fence. I'm like, what the hell? He gave the fence a bear hug. Should I put the cockroach?
The struggle is real, okay? So, but that's why I started the Etsy shop, because the way I see it is this, like I want to kind of like every time I get an inspiration for a potential to do a business, I'm going to do it. Whether or not it succeeds, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. So when I started the Etsy shop, I did it originally because I wanted to give people the option to get the digital version of my coloring book, because I know I've met people after I told them that I published my first book and they're like, Amazon, so I'm like, you know what, to cater to the people who are not fans of Amazon or whatever, I'll have it like, digital, so that way they can buy it there. And then my book is also on barnesandnobles.com, so they can also purchase it from there, because I want to cater to everyone, but I remember what inspired me to put more art in my Etsy shop was my son. After we moved, I had a big bag because a lot of my art stuff are in storage. Like my house is, even though you see all this light in the background, listen, fake news, okay? I don't put a lot of stuff on my walls. My house is very minimal design, whatever. So a lot of my art is like on the floor or like in storage or whatever. So my son was looking, he was like, Mommy, why don't you sell some of this? So like, why is this stuff like in bag, like, in storage? People need to see some of this. So I'm like, you think so? And then so I start like, selling canvas prints of some of my original artwork. And then I was like, you know what, since I'm into the digital art stuff in Midjourney, I'll sell printables too, whatever. And I just start like, going down there. And now I have like a bunch of, stuff that I've done. But it started off just with like maybe 5 little things, at first. So.
Awesome.
Wow, look at all that. My goodness, man. Oh my, you got like the haunted forests and the scary witches, and these look like stuff for movie sets and all that kind of stuff. Like you should be selling, and because movie sets will buy a lot of this stuff to put on movie sets to hang in a certain room, and like Constantine the movie, they'll put it right there. So they certain things, but you got to promote it to every little place, to tell you the truth, to make that happen. That's beautiful. I'm here looking at this artwork. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at the dragons and all of that, and old as the dwarf. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, look at this. Family.
Yeah, those are my original artwork. Yeah, those are some of my original stuff.
Beautiful.
Wow, my cousin is an artist also. He's been into art. That's been his business since he was for the last 35 years. So he definitely made it his business. That's all I can say. He's not. Wow, look at this. Look at this. The fairy tree house and all of that, man. Wow. $1.50 or $150? $1.50
for the individual pages. Those are printables, so you can buy them and print them at home. And wow. And if you don't want to buy the whole book, I cater to that too. You can just buy the individual pages that resonate with you. I'm trying to, like, as a UX person, because I do UX, which is user experience. I'm thinking, okay, how can I cater to all the different personas? That come to my shop. The ones who want the whole book, maybe just an individual page, or maybe they want the physical book. I got a link for that too, Amazon, whatever, Barnes and Nobles, whatever. So I'm trying to think of everyone. Okay, did I miss anyone? So
you do poster size also? Poster size?
The image, the biggest size I think is 36 by 24 for for the printables. Yes.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Give that a round of applause, family. We're so honored that we had you on today, man. It was beautiful. Make sure you go to her blog website, Natasha's World. Natasha's World. Remember, you got to say it cool. Natasha.
Yeah.
Natasha's World. You're not married, are you?
No.
We need to send a husband.
I don't know if I believe in the sanctity of marriage. Am I allowed to say that on the show?
Yes,
I don't know.
you are. Yes, you are.
Yes. I've been married 3 times. I got fired 3 times. I understand. Go ahead, say it.
You said fired 3 times. Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Go ahead. You don't believe in the institution of marriage, maybe just partnering. I was just talking to her earlier about part-time relationships. Like, you go back home. I go home. We cool. Let's go hang out. Let's go see a movie. Walk a park. That's part-time. Nothing else is involved. We don't even have to do anything.
It works for some people.
It works for some people.
It does.
So,
you know, I'm a believer that whatever works for people. Like that's one thing that I always said, that people shouldn't be forced into marriages or anything that they're not ready for. I've known couples who've been together for decades and they have a beautiful relationship. So I know it can work. I'm not one of those pessimistic people who are like, marriages don't work. They do. Right. And I also know I know one couple, and I used to be part of their community, and they're into open relationship, and they've been together for like almost 30 years, and they have, and their relationship is beautiful, and they have like a whole community of open. So I think there are so many different styles of it. For me, though, yeah, there is, you know. So I'm like, pick what works for you, you know. No pressure.
And this is where know thyself come in hand, you know.
Yes, yes.
And for me, like I cannot do open. It's not in my DNA.
It's not.
It has to be close.
Very close, and I'm not jealous. There's nothing jealous about me. Like, I just don't do that. But we are a team, and it's us. You know, we're building a foundation, and yeah, I don't do casual. I can't do casual.
Yeah, I decided, I'm thinking about this part-time relationship because a friend of mine, he's well off. He's a so-called self-made man. And he's like, you know what? I got no children. Let me just have part-time. I don't need a whole bunch of ish and extra stuff. So I'm like, oh my goodness. When he said that, I just started laughing. I said, let me go research this. Because this sounds like something new. When it's not. It's really not new. But Natasha, thank you very much. Natasha Pierre-Louis, give her a round of applause. Wonderful job. We had a good old time up in here. You know what I'm saying? Any last words for our audience? Or did you have a last question, Carrie Ann? Or no? Any last words for our audience, my dear?
Well, I mean, I just want to express gratitude that you guys brought me on tonight. Thank you so very much. This was fun. I was a little nervous. I even text Carrie, and I'm like, how do I prepare for this? I don't know.
I don't like to prepare, girl. Don't worry about it.
I even have my notes open right here. I'm like, well, what if they ask me a question? I don't know the answer. But then the flow, that's one of the things that's beautiful about conversation. Once it starts flowing, then it's like, oh, now I can relax. You know what I'm saying? So this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Give your son, artistic son, a hug for me. That's a beautiful thing, to see he's doing. Cause I remember my children loving Legos when they was young, and then one of my child wanted to be a architect, but life hit him, and he went to barber and doing his real estate. But life hits them, and they didn't stop thinking about the things that they gravitate to. There's an old movie that I watched called Shogun Assassin, and his mother, the child's mother, got killed. So the father said, you know what? Either I'm going to send you to your mama, or you're gonna roll with me, and we're gonna avenge your mama's death. So he put the sword down, and he put a colorful ball down, and the child gravitated towards the sword, and that's when he realized that the child wanted to be with his father. And let's do it together. If he went through the ball, he would have cut his child's head off and went and revenged his mother's death by himself. But the child gravitated to the sword. That means he was a fighter, ready to fight. And that's sometimes you got to look at your children just like that from those different old movies. They're showing you that sometimes our children gravitate to certain things naturally, and you got to watch them and study them from a child. As soon as they get to know themselves, it's like a beautiful thing. Because I gravitated definitely to music, and my first love was singing. That's why I went up to number 5 on the reggae chart when I was younger. So that I did it. You know what I'm saying? But I got perturbed because they was robbing you, and I didn't like how they treated people, and I didn't like the business of madness in this music industry that sometimes to the point it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I just had to leave that alone. But I'm proud of your son. I'm proud of you. I'm proud, of course, Carrie Ann and doing what she does all the time. So enough respect to her. Thank you very much for being a part of the journey. Healing Vibe journey. All right. Take care, my dear. Much love. All right. That's our dear friend now, friend of the room, the one, the only, Natasha Pierre-Louis. All right. Take care, my dear. All right. Bye-bye. All right. That's it. Oh, man. Wasn't that fun?
That was fun.
That was fun. And she called you about being nervous and all that kind of stuff. My goodness. Wow, man. Hey, we know how to put people at ease. It's all
Absolutely. Good. We vibing.
we know how to
No. We're the vibe.
We're the vibe, the healing vibe. Vibe. Shake the tambourine, people. Shake the tambourine. Healing vibe.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you again for wanting her on your platform.
Oh, but once you said you was doing the coloring, I said, oh man, that's something I really love. That's something I enjoy. So I'm definitely going to order the book myself.
Yeah.
And like I told you, because my grandchildren are a little young, probably for my 12-year-old, and then I'll give that to them and show them how to really color those type of books so they can familiarize themselves. But again, Natasha was great. And do remember next week, we got an astrologer coming in. Oh my goodness, this is going to be exciting. I can't wait.
Yes.
This brother here was a skeptic, practicing Muslim, and from skeptic to believer, a personal journey in discovering the transformational power of astrology. Man, that's going to be beautiful. I can't wait for that. That should be fun.
And right before the new year?
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes, right. And he can do his predictions. I've seen him do all those type of predictions or break down the patterns and cycles and sequences of astrology.
Yeah.
And this sister's coming up right the 20th, right after, man. Now, how you pronounce her name? I could do the middle name and the last name, but how you pronounce the first name?
Rahiti? She's gonna have to correct us. I feel
we butchering.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. I want to say it properly, with conviction, because it's very regal. It's a regal name.
Yes. I've seen that Tassili's in a few other spots, and we always talk. I have a book. I got to find out where. I think it's in my archives in my storage. So I do have a book. And family, on my single show this coming Sunday, I do have Sharon Gordon from out of Jamaica herself. She's not only an award-winning producer, actress, and storyteller, but also audiobook narrator and everything else. I'm going to have her as a doubleheader. I got Copeland Forbes, the former manager of Dennis Brown, Third World, assistant manager to Bob Marley, Peter Tosh. This brother's going to be on with us about his new book. I'm going to definitely speaking with him. So I can't wait to do that.
Nice.
Have them guys, because I was in the business with these guys. So that's why I'm thinking I love what they're doing. And I love what Copeland is doing. His book, oh my gosh, is so informative. And I love his commentary on why a Luciano could have been bigger than what he was, but because of not, he goes into all of that. And Dennis Brown could have been bigger than what he was. So if you want to join me in any one of those, they all Jamaican, so we're gonna have some Jamaican kind of fun.
So rice and peas.
Kind of fun.
Nice.
Business. This book is very. I'm still reading, just touching a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sharon and I, we worked New York scene for many years, so I can't wait to have her on as well. And she's a Scorpion energy that's gonna come with all her energy. He's a Leo energy that's gonna come with all his energy. So I'm loving it, and I'm loving the energy of bringing it. But my beautiful sister, have a great night, man, and keep on doing what you're doing. And,
Thank you.
We'll definitely link up and talk about it. Do remember, fam, we got Paul Campbell, right? We're working on Paul, right? We're working on Paul Campbell. Woo, that's gonna be hot.
Right?
I can't wait to have him on. And Phil Valentine is gonna be making a special guest appearance too this couple of months, and probably on the 17th. We're going to have a special appearance with Phil Valentine because he's promoting his webinar. So again, if you want to join me for that, that's going to be interesting too. So that should be fun. It's extraordinary when it comes to all the bull crap that's going on,
right?
And bringing some type of balance to it,
Right.
My dear, Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Everybody out there, have a wonderful evening. Hug, chokehold. Oh my God. Come here, girl.
Thank you all for joining, and see you next Wednesday.
Yes, let's see y'all next Wednesday, man. This has been the Healing Vibe Show. Not a mercy. Thank you very much, Natasha, for having a good time with us also. Natasha did a great job, man, and her beautiful son, wonderful job. All right. All right, my dear. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Bye.
Peace and love.
Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Hey, this is King Simon, the international numero beta. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the numero beta. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.